Give me 1 second, you guys. Hi, puppy. I was having some technical difficulties with my camera. How are you doing, Anne Marie? Trying to make sure everything gets caught up here. I can't tell that I'm live yet, so I got to make sure I can watch myself. I hope everyone's doing good. We're going to play a little bit tonight with the die of the month. Got kind of an idea in my mind, so hopefully it will work. It's getting to almost time for Halloween in a week or so. Hi, Mom. You're here tonight. Hi, Lori. Welcome. That must mean I'm definitely live. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my video here so I can watch it on the TV. So I make sure I stay on camera. I got all sorts of stuff for us to play with tonight. Hi, Tina. How are you? Excuse me. We're going to play with the die of the month, which is this Dapper Duds dies. So these are all the dies that come with it. Hi, Francie. And I like to stick a piece of magnet inside mine to keep all the pieces in it. I do have a couple pieces stuck in my little bin here. But it has all these fun dies. It's got the buttons, the 2 ties. Oh, I didn't even see that there was, we got to cut those pieces out too. I didn't cut those out yet. The collar, the bow tie, the little bows, there's a pocket. So we're going to play with this tonight. And then I'm going to use the new Vintage Mist. I just got this in. So I thought we would play with that. Hi, Lori Gordon. Hi, Shirley. And I thought I'd show you what that looked like. I also have the Occasional Tags die set, which is a fabulous die set. It's got all of these great dies on it. And I'm going to use the big tag from that. And then this also has like a gift card part. So this is what we're going to use tonight. I am going to put this away because I've already cut this out. So we don't lose all those little pieces, but it works for all year. So we've got that. And then I have the Silk Ties paper pad. Hi, Cherie. That I'm going to use. I cut some ties out of that, but I noticed we needed some toppers. So we're going to go ahead and cut those out quick too. So you can see I already cut a couple pieces out. So I'm going to quickly, I think I can cut a couple of these pieces out of this top little section here. I didn't see that part. I actually haven't had a chance to play with this yet, so I'm kind of excited to do this. I have a couple tags we're going to meet, and I think we're going to stick them on a card, and we will make like a card for dads or masculine card. I thought this might be a fun thing. Christmas is coming up, that if you had, a lot of times dads get a tie. So I thought this would be kind of a fun thing you could do for a gift tag for a card for them. Jerry, I am going to make a card using the Dapper Dies, Die of the Month, and Silk Ties. And a couple tags. I will definitely get 1 card made. We might get 2. But I've got everything pre-cut. So let's start with the vintage spray. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my little box up here. And I'm just going to use 1 piece of aqua pigment paper tonight because I already did this ahead of time so that it would be, I'll make sure you guys could see that really well. So I've got, this is the Vignette Vintage Mist. It doesn't really have any mica that I can tell, but I did kind of shake it up. I love the Silk Ties paper too. I haven't used much of it yet. I really should get another one. So I just shook it up a little bit and then I'm just going to spritz it. And that one is the Vignette, and this one is the Iced Gray. I love this Iced Gray. It's beautiful. And I'm just going to spray a little bit on. And then for some fun, I quickly added, well, these I'm going to have to mix up. I forgot to do that ahead of time. I've got the Evergreen and the Copper Shimmer Chroma Mist. I always get Shimmer Spray and Chroma Mist. Shimmer Mist is the white pearl. And everything else is the Chroma Mist. But now we have the Vintage Mist. So anyway, so you want to mix them up so you really don't see there's a little bit of that shimmer down here, but there's none here. So you just want to shake that up. That helps keep it from clogging. That's pretty good. So we're just going to add a little bit more, and then I'm going to let this dry, and I'll use these for another spray. Now this green can be very, very, very dark, so I don't want to use a ton of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the vignette back over the top a little bit, and then I just kind of created this fun paper. Now there's a little bit on the edge. Let's see if I can lift that up. So you can kind of see, I'm not going to dry, I'm just going to leave this and set this aside. I have one already done. So now what I wanted to show you is this is what those two look like. It is many myths to keep track of, but they're all fun. And these are really fun. So here is the iced gray when it's dry. And this is on the aqua pigment paper. And then this is the vignette. So they're fun colors to be able to add. And then you can see they're a matte finish. So that is fun and stuff. But I pre-cut them out and I already pre-die cut them. So this is what it looks like. You can see that shimmer. It's all dry. And I cut out two, and then I used some of I believe this is the macchiato. I love the gray. Yes. I believe this is some of the macchiato, and that is just because aqua pigment paper is kind of thinner. So I want to back it on something. You could use the Knots Your Mama's or another, but I just like how the aqua pigment paper takes up a lot of the ink. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to attach those two together first. And I just redid this, so my tape gun might be acting up tonight. Of course, it is. It might be too tight and it's not wanting to spin. All right. So this has been a fun release, and I played with it when I first got it, and I haven't played with it since. So I thought I would go ahead and play with this tonight. I have a video going to be up on my YouTube channel on Saturday for a Halloween card. It's part of a blog or a YouTube hop. I haven't decided what I'm going to make it. I kind of forgot about it, so I got to make it. So I just got those. So that just gives it a little bit more, and it's not perfect. I didn't line it up perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. And when I add a thread to it, you're never going to notice that, but you could also use a paper puncher to punch that out. So if you wanted to use liquid glue to get that a little more perfect, you could. And I also can just add a little bit of distress ink to it. But I might even glue this down. So maybe we'll use liquid glue on this one. Get it a little bit, line up a little bit more. So there we go. Has everyone been opening their Halloween advent calendars? I didn't get one this year, but I've been having fun watching Christopher open up. I think, is that tomorrow maybe that he'll open up and play with the next ones? They're very fun. You know, Anne Marie, I got it right away, and I got it ready to go, and I've just been busy doing other things, and I just haven't had a chance to play with it. I actually kind of signed up to do a craft fair for the first time in my life the weekend after Thanksgiving, Saturday after Thanksgiving. So I've been very busy making cards for that, and just organizing and spending time with my pup and my honey and that kind of thing too. And I was sick for a little while too. I had a little bit of a head cold. Okay, so now we've got our two tags. Now I hadn't, like I said, decided really what I wanted to put it on. I don't know if I like the white so much because I think that's kind of boring. So I think before we get our background done, I'm gonna go a little wild and crazy. We're gonna get our ties made up. So I did go ahead. Let me get the die set out here. And I pre-cut. There's a skinny and a wide tie. Wide, and one's a little bit long, skinny longer and a wider fat tie. So I have both of them here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the toppers. Well, let's see, how am I supposed to do that? Yes, I'm going to go ahead and put the toppers on them. And now this is where you could have some fun. This fun paper is that you could go ahead and turn it around so it's like a reversible tie. If you could see that, I'll try to bring that up as close. Nope, other direction. I'm really bad. Can you see that? There we go. But I'm going to use the same pattern. I'm using this paisley tie, and it's just going to give it a little bit of a dimension. So, yeah, Monday was my daughter's birthday. She's my oldest. So I was busy kind of doing some things, getting her birthday card made and sent off to her. And I sent her the mummy card we made last week. And so hopefully she has received it or will be receiving it. It might have gotten there late. It takes a long time to get her mail. So I just quickly put those on and I'm going to let them sit aside to dry. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get these done, because I just thought these would be fun. I don't know if I'm going to use, which one I'm going to use, but I want them to dry. And then I went ahead and used the collar piece out of some scratch orange paper that we can use to put on too when we all finalized it. It was just a couple different colors. But I thought I would show you the bow ties as well. So I've got a blue and a black collar. And then I did go ahead and I cut out a kind of like a paisley print. This is just scratch paper and then a gingham. And then these little dies right here. Let me see if I can. They are the centers of the bows. So we're going to put those together. So I'm going to go ahead and pop those out of the die. And so you can just see it kind of cuts the center and then a little bit of strings. Yes, yes, super cute. And then, like I said, the die of the month right now is this die, and you don't have to subscribe. If you don't want to, you can just you can subscribe to it, and then you can actually call, or you can go, if you don't know how to go into your account to subscriptions and cancel, if you just want the one die, or you can, wait and see. Every month they get a new die out, and usually it ships, I believe, right around the time you subscribe to it. So I subscribed on the 1st. So it ships right away at the 1st. If you subscribe later in the month, I believe it ships a little bit later in the month, but they have one for you. But it should be available if there's any left next month, but it will be right now it's $15.99, and next month it will be $19.99, I believe. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put these down. I have so much stuff on my desk and my new phone was not letting me zoom in. So you can see I have a huge, huge mess. I was trying to put some things away before you guys came on so that you couldn't see it. So what I'm gonna do is, I haven't put these together yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some liquid glue right on the center of both of those. And then I'm gonna grab my tweezers and I'm gonna add just a teeny tiny bit of glue to these spots right here, just so that they stay flat. And I'm dabbing ever so gently on these, but I saw someone do this the other day on a video, and she just tapped off those edges on her hand and let them. And so then I'm just going to attach it. And then I'll push it down, grab a block, and we'll let that sit for a minute, and then I'll bring it up. It is fun, and especially if you don't peek too, Anne Marie. It is fun to know if you, and then like I said, you don't have to peek at it. If you don't peek, I can never stop. I always have to peek. As soon as I kind of know what's coming, I have to go peek. I don't want to wait. As soon as I find out, okay, next month, what is, because obviously being on the design team, we do know a little bit ahead of time, and I have to go peek right away. And I'm like, okay. And that also helps me start designing right away so that I can have projects planned as soon as it comes so that I have stuff for you guys. But it is kind of fun to have it. I have a couple local friends who subscribe, and I don't know if they peak every month or not. And now I don't know if I put that on upside down or right side up. So I'm gonna kind of peek at it. I think it doesn't matter because I can turn it upside down. So here is, I'm gonna grab a white piece of paper so you can kind of see those. And I hope white will show you, and try to bring those up a little closer so you can see the detail on them. That's a great subscription, Anne Marie, I think, too, to get the stamps and the dies. And the scissors this month were just adorable. So there's the detail on those. Let me see if you can kind of see just a little bit. It's just a little bit of a slight detail edge on there. You could probably put one or more than one on there to make the knot thicker if you really wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it as one. So I thought we'd make the bow tie guy, you know, have the black tie. I don't know for sure what we're going to do with them yet, and I did the blue for the blue. So that's what those would look like. I didn't really plan to use them tonight. I just thought I would make them so you could see what they look like. But what a fun card you could make for, you know, just making a bunch of bow ties. Or even, to be honest with you, using these two bow tie dies and just cutting out a whole background and then putting a piece of pattern paper underneath it. And that would be fun. And then you could even put these little, cut these out and put them on there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave those off to the side for right now. So now we got to decide what we want to do for our background. I keep losing my pin. Anybody see the pin to my glue bottle? Uh-oh. It's here somewhere. We'll grab my Misty Magnet quick and see if we can pull it up here. That always makes me nervous when I forget to put, oh, there it is. Phew. We're going to put it in my glue bottle. Sorry about that, you guys. I lost my big one. I can't find it anywhere. And so I have this little one. Okay. So that is just some white paper I have set off from another project. I think we should use another one of these patterns. And I think, don't know how wild and crazy I want to go. I'm kind of thinking this one will be fun, which is the backdrop. Nope, that's not the backdrop, but I have that already torn out. So let's use that one. This is such a fun, so we got the A and the B side. Look, and this is such a fun pattern. I think this would be fun for the front of our card because it, you know, the card, you know, dad is, a lot of times when you get a paisley tie, you get a crazy, crazy shirt with it, which would be fun. You could cut this little piece up. Maybe we should do that. We might do that. All right, let's cut this down quick first. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on a lunch bag background. So I'm going to cut it down to 5. I want just a little, I want some of it to show by 3.5, 3.75. So I got 5.375 and I've got just enough of this, I think, left. I can cut some of this. Is that macchiato that we can do 4. It's just a little shy of 4 because I put my angle at, but that's fine. We'll make it work. And then I did 5, so 5.25. Okay. Throwing some paper away. That's what takes a lot for me. Okay, so we're going to layer that in on top of this. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on here. This is going to be very kind of a darker card, but I think it'll be fun. I do need some sort of ribbon. Let's cut this piece out. I need a bigger desk, or just need to get some stuff off my desk. Hey, Gina, how are you? I've got my Lily bracelet right here. My craft. You know what? I've been so busy that I've been trying to clean up. I've got my little, I need a new one. It broke, but I tied it back together. So tell Lily I need a new bracelet. I just forgot to put it on tonight. I keep it sitting here. How have you been? How are the kids? They've been good. I have to cut this. We have to cut this out. This is so fun. Hi, hello, Lily. Thanks for joining too. I used a little bit of the Vintage Mist today, and I'm using the Dapper dies. So yeah, when I pulled this out, we kind of have to use. Look at that. That's just, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we've got that, and we've got this. All right. Now, what I thought might be fun to add in a little, this is a little more color. I'll go busy with the kids. I remember those days. I just cut out some of the zigzags. This is from the All Occasion tag die set. There's all these little decorations here. So this is, like I said, a fabulous die set to get because you not only got these tags and all these embellishments, the buttons, the different seasons. We've got the jack-o'-lantern at the back or in the front, and we've got here's the Easter egg, and back or in front. Anyway, you also got these little tiny zigzags and rickracs, which you also could use the easy elements easy element dies, because there's a bunch of fun things too. But tonight I decided I wanted to use this. So I am going to go ahead and we're going to put some of these on our tag to make some fun decorations. So I've got some of the macchiato and some of the orange that I cut, and I cut them out of the wide and the thin. These remind me of Charlie Brown, if you can believe that. I was thinking about Charlie Brown when I started cutting these out, going, I need an orange shirt, or I need a yellow shirt with the black. That would be a fun card. Kelly, that is a great element set. It really is. And I've used it a lot, but I thought I totally forgot about this occasional tag set, and I really like this set, so I wanted to use it. I've been slowly trying to pare down some of my stash, because we all have way too much. And so I can use the stuff that I already have and make sure, and use it. I love buying new stuff, but I love using the old stuff too. So I did cut the variety of different ones. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do then a skinny brown. Totally Charlie Brown. Yes. And I'm actually thinking I might have to make a Charlie Brown card now with this. We got the skinny, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it, not worried too much about if they're not super far apart. We're going to go ahead and do all 5. But just think about what great Christmas cards tags you could make with this red and green. Use some of the glitter stock, and put it down. It's stamped like a tree on here, and then you could use some of the glitter stock with these the different rickrack things, and you have a quick and fast tag for a gift. Or that. What is the name of this die set? It is called the All Occasional. I'll pull it up again. Just a second. Make sure I get it totally right. The Occasional Tags die set. And I did check to make sure it was in stock before I used it. Margaret, I am not going to be in the store tomorrow because I live in Iowa. So me personally, I'm not going to be in the store tomorrow morning. But I'm sure other people will be in the store. Most usually but I'm not there, so I don't know for sure if anyone has like a day off or anything like that. So, but thank you for asking, Margaret. It's a little too far for me to come. So I did get to come to Create Your Own Ending this year in July. So I did visit the store there, and that was on my bucket list. All right, so there, I thought that was kind of a fun little extra. We've got now, do we like the chunky tie? Like the skinny tie? I'm leaning towards the chunky tie. Margaret, I do not know. That would be a question to ask. You can call the store if you want beforehand, but I do not know that. I'm on the design team, so those are some questions I don't know. If somebody pops in from the store, I will ask them if I see them pop in, one of the store members. But that is a question for somebody there. Okay. I don't know how long that is good for. So I didn't do crop and crate this year, this time. So we've got this. We have a couple of die sets to use from, but I'm kind of happy with what this is going for. We need to grab some ribbon. So I'm going to go grab some ribbon. I do have some jute, but I don't think I want to use that. Okay, I have some brown. I don't have a ton of ribbon in my stash anymore. I do have this orange, which we might use. You're welcome, Margaret. I wish I could answer that for you. I just don't know. And I am using my phone, so I cannot text and ask anybody right now either. This is some old ribbon that I've had in my stash for a long time. I actually went through and got rid of a lot of my ribbons not too long ago. I donated. I had like 3 big containers of them, and I just wasn't using it. This one's from the Welcome Home. I do not know if it's still in stock. That was from last year. I haven't used it yet, so I thought I'd pull it out because it's got some orange here, orange and brown. And I gave it all to my mom. Hi, Christy. And so I only kept some ribbons, basically some basic ribbons. All right, so I'm just going to cut a bunch off. I'm not going to measure. We need to tie those on quick. Now, there's a couple different ways I know people do this. I know some people put them through, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not a ribbon person too much. I don't practice a lot with it, so they're just going to make it happen. See what happens here. I think that's exactly what I want. So I've got that. I don't know about a bow. Let's see if I can do a bow. That's not too bad of a bow. Turn that over and I'll fuss with it a little bit after. It's not too bad. I'm kind of proud of myself. So I know that's a bow on a dad card, but we're still going to do it. So I think, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick just a little bit of glue back here and kind of put my tweezers on that to hold. If I can figure out where I put my tweezers, they fall in everywhere. And we will work on getting our card put together. Okay, so let's get our card base. I don't know if they have any pre-made. Excuse me. I have gray. Do I have a brown one pre-made up? I do. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just use that side folding card. I don't make many masculine cards. I think a lot of people, sometimes don't do that. And I would say that this is a very good release to help make masculine cards, whether you get the die set. And like I said, there's the tailor-made paper pad and then the school ties paper pad. Silk ties paper pad, apologize. Hi, Shannon, how are you? I'm making a wild and crazy card using the Dapper Duds die set. I've missed you, Shannon. We need to catch up soon. It's been busy. All right, so we've got some of that. This is some of that silk ties paper and the macchiato. And then we've got and I'm even using ribbon, Shannon, if you can believe it. We're going to go ahead. And I know this looks like a lot of waste, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably save this for something else, like staple on or something. But tonight we're going to, and of course that didn't stay. So I may have to get a glue dot. See, I have some old glue dots right here I have no idea where they're from. I've been a crafter for a long time. And we're going to go ahead and just grab one of those glue dots here and stick it down inside here, and that will help it hold it in place. Of course, it sticks right to and then we're going to pull it tight. Once we glue it down, though, that will help it stay because I can put glue right behind that. So this is a little bit of a thicker ribbon, but I think it works. All right. So I don't think I want to pop it up because I want it to be kind of flat. So I got a little bit of an overhang here. Let's get my paper trimmer out. YouTube is much better. They release the subscription projects the first of the month is when the new ones come up. So if on like the last day of the month you try to go in and subscribe to it, it doesn't necessarily work because the system I think is usually, I think somebody tried that last month and it was trying to get ready for the new one, but it releases on the 1st. Like, is it midnight Eastern time? So if you want to know what it looks like, then you can go about midnight. So on the 1st. That's when they switch, because that's the new box, the new die of the month, the new stencil of the month, the new stamp stamp or stamp club with the die, and then there's an embossing powder, and I don't know, is there still an aqua pigment of the month? There used to be. I don't know if there is still. But if you go up into the website, I think this second tab over, it says subscriptions, and then you can click on that and it will show you all of the subscriptions for the month. You can click on each one. Okay, so there we go. We've kind of got our little Charlie Brown tie, or not tie, tag going here. So I think, now that I think about it and the tag's going this way, we think we're going to add our shirt this way, or our tie this way. So let's go ahead and add that. I haven't thought much about my sentiment yet. I have a couple sentiments. My dad doesn't wear a lot of ties. No aqua pigment. Okay. Hi, Darren. How are you? At one point, I know there was one, but I didn't. That was I think that might have been a couple years ago. Excuse me a second. It was your favorite, Lori? I need to subscribe back to the embossing powder of the month, because that's some fun. There's fun ones. I have a friend who, once in a while when I'm at her house and I'm raiding her stash, I'm like, oh my gosh, where did this embossing powder come from? And it was usually one of the ones from the month that I don't always look at those. I forget about that one. Good, Darren. I'm really glad. That makes me super happy. I think I'm going to go ahead and tie this up a little tighter here. I'm going to just snip these. I'm not going to try to make a fancy cut in them. This one needs to be a little bit shorter. Got 2 ribbons on my card, Shannon. Not even 1, 2. That's crazy. Awesome. All right. Now I used this this is aqua pigment paper. So sometimes aqua pigments and sparkly stuff can not like to adhere. So I like to make sure I press it really, really, really well. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put that on here as well. I think we're going to do it down here. I may end up changing this bow up a little bit, but first we need to put our collar down. Yeah, this collar just screams to me that it has to be the same. Use my little. All right. So there, we've got our little 2. I know I'm on a roll. Can you believe it? I actually, to be all honestly, Shannon, I didn't get my tag lined up all the way, so I had to cover my hole. But I did use 2 ribbons. So that's kind of the fun part about this part. I mean, I know the tag isn't all, the tie thing isn't all the way on the tag, but I'm making a card, so it's okay. I'm going to use a glue dot, maybe, because these are old glue dots, to stick the bow down. Of course, I'm going to use more than 1 glue dot. Oh, I didn't pull it off. That's how old these are. They don't want to come off. There we go. Okay. So we've got the basis of our card. Now we need a sentiment of some sort. So I have a couple of stamp sets, and you guys can help me decide which one we're going to do. And I'm going to have to do it on like a tan, I think, cardstock to put down here. I have grabbed the occasional greetings and the super sentimental. I have You're the Best, which is right here. You're Awesome, which is good, fun. And then I also have Best Dad Ever. And, I mean, I can send this to my dad, so I can totally do the best dad ever, because he is the best dad ever. He's my dad. But I also got You're the Best and You're Awesome. So those are some other options. And we did have a Mother and Father's Day set out. I don't know what the sentiment's on that, and if it is. still available. So I thought I didn't get a chance to look. So I think we're going to do the best dad ever from this occasional greeting stamp set. And I am going to find some brown paper here. Actually, maybe we'll stamp it right on. This is, for those of you who are joining a little bit late, this is the Vintage Mist in the ice gray and the vignette once it's dry. So I have those. So I'm going to go ahead. Maybe we'll use one of those. High end. There's a little bit of that gray. So maybe we'll use a little bit of that gray. And then just some black ink. Okay. Now I was stamping with a rubber stamp this weekend. So I took my Misty thing out. So I guess we will use my giant Misty today. Or not my giant, but my original Misty. Okay. We're just going to line this up. Now this is aqua pigment paper and I sprayed it. So it's a little bit feeling kind of a little warped, but it'll work just fine once we get it in place. Move that up a little bit. Desk is slowly losing space. I just re-inked my Raven ink. So I haven't used this stamp yet. So I'm going to go ahead and rub my fingers over it just a little bit to get some of the manufacturer's residue off. So we finally have had some cold weather here in Iowa. We've had frost on the ground one day. I don't know if it was Friday last week, and the colors are starting to turn, and it's just getting pretty. And it's been nice the last 2 days. The farmers are out in the yard, or out in the fields cutting the corn and the beans. So we're starting to get, this time of year, we always get box elder bugs and ladybugs, or the Japanese beetle type bugs galore. But I heard that the weather's supposed to turn again soon. So I stamped it several times because of the, I hadn't used the stamp yet, and because there's a little bit of texture on this paper. So I'm going to grab, I think a circle die, I think will work the best right here. So I'm just going to quick grab one. I keep them fairly close, usually. Now, of course, today I can't find them. Okay. All right. Of course, they're not anywhere near tonight, so we will use another die instead. We will grab one of these. I think we're going to go ahead and grab Rainy Gloomy for Days here. Oh, really? Jerry, I just noticed in the last, like this week, were changing here in Iowa because I wanted to make sure I took a picture of one for my daughter. That's the one thing she says she misses about the Midwest is the fall leaves. So I did take my phone with me on my walk tonight and get a picture. We're going to use one of these bullet, or I don't know how exactly what you say, the jagged edgy kind of woo dies. I know I say woo, but I'm like trying to think of what you would call that. If the word escapes me. We had a couple of rainy days. I don't know if that was last week, the week before. I think we had 4 inches in like a day and a half. It rained quite a bit and was cold. It was really nice to have the rain though, because we hadn't really had any. And then the sun finally came back out today. It was really warm yesterday, like 65, which isn't warm, but it was. Medallion, thank you. That is a perfect word for it. So I've got that. Now, do we like it on the left? We could have put it underneath, but then it's not going to be seen as well because I kind of covered that up. So, I mean, we still could have, and I could cut it off, but I think I'm going to put it down over here. I think on the left. So we're going to go ahead, and I am going to pop this up. So let's grab some Easy Tab pop dots. Mom, if you're still watching and Dad's there, tell him he's not supposed to look. Just kidding. He can look. I have to remember to send it to him first. Otherwise, he can just pretend I sent it to him and be like, woohoo, Dad, I made you a card. It's in my house. These are called Easy Tab because there's these little tabs that you can just, once you get it on, of course, you gotta make sure it's on right. It just peels right off. But I always have to make sure that they're pushed in really well. All right. So we have that, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it like right here. There we go. So I think that is super fun. Like I said, I have this other one here. Let's see if I can grab do I have a slimline panel here? I do. Let's see if we can throw something kind of together quick here for this other one. He's not watching? Okay. So I've got this other one that's the same. This one, I wish I knew where my jute was because I had that not too long ago. Well, you know what? I will show you something else you can do. We will use, this is just regular old string. Thank you. Regular old string. And it's going to be kind of messy for me, but I don't care. I can wash my hands afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray this with the, let's do the vignette. I'm going to use the vignette and we're just going to spray it. And just kind of, you can do this with any white string or color. Kind of just mess it around in there. It's going to be a little wet, but it'll dry fast. And I actually think I'm going to do it here on my desktop. Put a little bit there. And we're just going to go ahead and put this in and just kind of get it kind of wet and kind of color it up a little bit. Is the rainbow thing at the top of your mat a glue bottle rest? It is actually. I have a friend who gave it to me. It's from the Make It by Marco on Etsy. That they make the stands for your brushes, and they make a bunch of other things. They make my chamois holder. That this is a glue. They had one of these. I don't know if they still have the rainbow one. I have a teal and a rainbow one, but a friend of mine had a bunch of them, and she gave me one of the rainbow ones after a convention one time. Because it's for us. This one's a little bit smaller glue tube. So not that the big ones don't fit, but it is generally one for a smaller glue tube. So I'm not sure where my big one is. It's teal, and like I said, it does fit my big one. Okay, so once I've got this, it's pretty good. I'm going to hit it quick with my heat gun. I hope we don't go over too far. I do too, and Rebecca and Carl are amazing people. I need to order a couple things from them. I need the clutter keeper, and I do need I'm going to wipe it a little bit with my cloth just to kind of get it a little bit lighter. And actually, I think that was just enough. That's just enough. That we're going to go ahead and wrap this through. And I think I'm just going to wrap it through a few times. And that is one way you can actually, if you don't have a ribbon that's the right color and you're using some aqua pigments or chroma mists, or I've even done inks with reinkers, you can just color them to match. And I'm just going to wrap this around a little bit here. Kind of give it a different like kind of texture. And then we'll tie like a little knot. It is a little wet, but it's not terribly wet. This was kind of a quick way. I'm going to tie that, and we're going to just cut it. And I'm going to cut it down. Oh, I might need another scissors for this. Okay. We're going to cut it down just a little bit for that. And go ahead and use some more of this orange paper. I'm going to see, I think I'm going to go ahead and grab another paper too. I like that blue one. But I've used almost all of that up. So let's use this blue one. And I'm just going to kind of chop a piece off Actually, I think I'm going to do it right in half. I'm going to do 3 inches because that is one of my favorite things to do with pattern paper is the 6x6 pad. Just chop it right in half, and then you have basically a panel for your mini slim lines. Hi, Joanne. How are you? So then I have this and that. We're going to add this to it. So let's go ahead and start adding our papers. And then I got to figure out a way to use the bow ties I made later on, but they do not match this card. So we'll have to use those. I will make something probably this weekend and post it in the fan club group when I'm done with the bow ties. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put this down. I'm going to cut my panel down just a little bit. So I am going to put this towards the top. That's good, Joanne. I miss you guys. I would like to have come last weekend and seen you guys, but it just wasn't going to work for me. So hopefully before the snow flies, I will make it out to see you guys and craft with you guys in your neck of the woods. I didn't quite get that on straight. So fix it by cutting that straight. Okay. So then we have this beautiful paper. I'll go ahead and put this on a card base later. I thought we'll go quick put this on while we're working so we can get that in. The brick rack is so fun. It is one that, and I think if you were very careful, you could probably keep cutting longer strips if you didn't cut all the way to the end, and you could line it up, especially if you're using solid print paper. So I don't really have any more cut. Ooh, that is not straight, is it? There we go. That's better. I've got that. So I got another piece of that rick rack is on here too. But I only have the one piece, so I don't think we're going to add that this time unless I go find, I cut some quick. I'm going to quickly add this. If you're wondering what I was doing, I was blowing some air into my glue bottle when it's getting empty and I need to fill it with the refill. But I have found that helps sometimes with the clogging. If I pick off the top and then I quickly blow into it, a friend of mine, Leslie Oman from Happy Doodle has done that. I've seen her do that. And then like she does that with some of her like stickles and things like that. And that helps keep the stuff inside. Okay, so we've got that. I don't think I'm going to add any more of those. Hi, Kate. Well, Kate, we made one card. We're just finishing up this other last card. I'm using the Dapper Duds die set, which is the die of the month. Of course, I just remembered I did this. So now I'm going to go ahead and use the longer of the ties. And there is, like I said, I'm going to try to keep this one on it this time as much as possible. There is a little piece for the notch that kind of goes up on top, and you could use that, but you don't have to, but it adds just a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to go ahead and glue on the collar. We have another orange collar here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on right there on the top. And you know, if there's that Mother's and Father's Day set that we had, it had suspenders that you could stamp, and then you could put this in on the top, which is kind of fun. So I'm just letting that sit for just a minute. And then maybe we will grab another one. Where's those dies? Where's the Dapper dies? There they are. Let's cut out a couple buttons. Quick. I have some of that orange paper here. I'm just going to cut out a couple buttons with that. That's another fun thing that you could, if you diligently, actually, we're going to use this again. This is the vignette though. We'll cut some of that out. We'll add those. I am not a bow person, Anne Marie. That was the best bow I think I made in a long time. I probably need more practice. I watch people make them and I'm just like, I don't get it. But I tend to do fake. I do knots more than I do no bows. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my pick tool here to push those out. Oh my gosh, these buttons are adorable. These would be awesome to use with the stitch dies and then stitch the holes because it does print the holes out. Let's grab a white piece of paper so you can see these up close. So this is the vignette that I sprayed on aqua pigment paper and let dry. See how fun those are? You could put some glossy accents or some pearl on these and that would give it some shine. I'm just gonna kind of attach them. Actually, that's where I want my sentiment to be. These are gonna be kind of like accents. Where do I want the third one? I think we'll put it right there. And I'm gonna use my little tweezers to, oops. So there we go. So now we just need a sentiment and we've got one more card. So I think this time we're gonna do You're the Best or whatever one off that super sentimental. And I'm gonna stamp it on white. Yep, we're gonna do You're the Best. I'm gonna use one of those medallions again. Print that to cut that out. So we will grab that. I had some white paper here somewhere. This is the Perfect Blend paper. It's one of my favorites. I tend to kind of hoard it a little bit because I love it so much. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and stamp this in black again. Oh my goodness, Anne-Marie, you were talking about, thanks, Cherie. You were talking about my desk looking like yours. It is really bad now. But I'm a good girl. I'll probably go sit on the couch for 5 minutes and then I'll come in and be like, I gotta clean up my desk. So we're gonna try to quick finish up this card. We're gonna go over a little bit. I hope that's okay. But we're getting 2 cards for 1 tonight. All right. I don't know if I've ever stamped this stamp out before. This is the Super Sentimental stamp set. It's one of the first stamp sets I ever got. It's a good one to have because it has so many sentiments in it. So this is You Are the Best. It is. Super Sentimental and Extra Sentimental are 2 of my favorites. They're actually sitting, I think they're both sitting, yep. Extra Sentimental. They both sit up in my bin. I have a bin right up to the top with the newest release and the upcoming releases when I get them in. And I keep these 2 sets in there all the time. And then I also have the occasional tag set in there and the easel set in there all the time. Because then I can grab them if I need them. All right, so we need one of those medallions again. I hope I didn't put it too close to the edge. Nope. I got to use my other die cut machine doesn't fit my desk. So I'll be right back to you guys. Talks amongst yourselves. All right. And that cutout, it's a little big. It's a little big for this section. We might tuck it underneath this tag a little bit. I might try to peel up that tag just a little bit. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off. We're going to cut it off and we're going to tuck it under. Because nobody has to know. Nobody's going to know. Except you guys. Because you saw me. But you really don't know if you're not there. Okay, my glue has exploded. Try to glab some of the extra off the edge there. Okay. And we'll go ahead and stick this in. Excuse me if my head gets in the way. Just pulling up the edge of that a little bit, and we'll stick that down. And I might put this on a, hello, Ellen, how are you? I may stick this on a different card base, and so I just checking. So it is just going to overhang a little bit, but so I'm just going to leave this for now. That was a smaller, that was one of the slimline, pre-cut slimline card bases you can get, which are my favorite. But I think I'm going to make card base that's brown. So that's great. We are just finishing up tonight. I have 2 cards for you guys. I hope you enjoyed them. Let me put my, oh, I can't stick my needle in my glue here quick. There we go. Okay, now we'll get my mess cleaned up. We used a variety of products, including the Dapper Duds and Silk Ties, along with the 2 Vintage Mists, new Vintage Mist sprays tonight. These would be fabulous on some of the fiber paper, but I used all mine up. So I'm gonna put that away, and we have, these are our 2 cards tonight. So I don't know which one I like better. I'm kind of leaning towards this one just because I like the extra little detail, but they're just both so fun. So I hope you had a great evening. Joanne, it's not, it's just, I did prep a little bit. Thank you, Shannon. Jerry, I have found, no, because let's see, what size is this one? I have gone to making mine to be 6 by 3.5 for the most part. This one is 6.25. So I try to kind of go with 6. 6.25 is the max that I've done. Let me grab one of them. I will show you. So I have 2 different envelopes I use. This is a cheap one from like the big box stores. And then these are the coin envelopes. I have tried to find, I've bought a few offline, and you can get, they have some colored ones in the Brutus Monroe store, the yellow, brown, and orange. I have tried to use the dimensions. Like if you the coin envelopes, you can also go online if you want different colors. Try to use, but the longest by the dimension for there. So no, this one's a little wide, but I was going to cut it down anyway. But see how this just fits in that envelope. And this is one from the dollar, or from like the dollar store or Walmart or whatever, big box store. So that is where I have found 6.25 is the max, Jerry, that I've done. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, you guys. Dapper dude cards, yes. So there you go. So 6.25 will fit in one of these letter envelopes. I don't do 6.5. So I try to, a lot of times I end up, you're welcome, Jerry. A lot of times I'll end up making it on a panel first, but I like to keep one of my envelopes that I know I'm going to use close at hand. So when I'm going, I can make them. But I've been making mini slims for a while. And then I have really started to fall in love with the coin envelopes. But they can be just to the point where they barely fit. So like I said, this one I'm going to have to cut off a little on that one edge, but it just fits in there. These are some of the mini slim card bases from Brutus Monroe. And if you notice, if these are cheap envelopes, they fit perfectly. You know, Kate, never problem, never ask. Thank you. Take care all. And then if you look at the coin envelopes, Jerry, they also will fit. So they are a little bit wide. These might be 6.5, or I mean 3.5. So I like to cut mine down to 3, and I've always cut mine down. Even when I cut these, I like to cut them down to 3.25. That is works for me the best. It's not so much length with these as that. So I hope that helps. Thank you guys all for joining me tonight. Don't forget to have a great rest of your night. And I appreciate y'all. I'm going to try to get my card base out of there now. Have a great evening, y'all. Night.